Google's Veo 3 has completely changed AI video and they've made it so accessible. It is a little pricey, but I'll show you a couple ways on how you can make it not so expensive.
Subscribe to Murray's channel so that he can create more AI videos on YouTube automation.
God has kept me safe so far from the lion's mouth. I'll keep you updated on what happens, or if you don't hear from me again, you know why, but I don't think that will happen.
Take courage, it is I. Don't be afraid. Come to me.
I will win this battle.
So let me show you just what you can do with Google Veo 3.
Jess, did you hear that?
Hear what? There's something moving in the woods.
And it's getting closer.
It's probably just a raccoon or something. We're in the middle of nature, remember?
No, it sounded bigger. Like, much bigger.
Relax, Tom. We're safe here by the fire. I'm your camping buddy and your fearless leader. Plus, I have a whistle and a flashlight. But I saw glowing eyes between the trees.
And I heard a growl.
Wait, you heard a growl too? Okay, that's definitely not a raccoon.
Are you gonna check it out?
Why are we packing up?
Because I'm a camper, not a wildlife expert. We're heading back to the car and sleeping in there tonight. Subscribe if you're scared of camping too.
So a short little scene there, just fun messing around, nothing really too serious. Now, this AI tool is so powerful that you can even generate some of those, satisfying videos. So, take a look at this one, for example. This is just the soap bar being cut. If you've seen these, you're familiar with, these satisfying videos. And you're like, well, I don't have all this soap to burn through, but, maybe I have money instead to burn through. I don't know. But, what I've been able to do with this is actually do something similar with Google's Veo 3 model here. And now this is in Google Labs. It's similar to their Google Gemini. If you've got a subscription with Google Gemini, then you will have access to it. So this is Google Gemini. If you want to actually sign up with a free trial, you can do that for the first month, and then the second month is billed $24 per month, and those prices continually increase. So let me show you what I've been able to create. There's one thing that you've got to keep in mind though, and that's having the correct prompt to get what you're looking for. If you saw the first scene that I created using AI with the camping scenario, where there's the 3 people camping and they were scared of this monster, you noticed, or hopefully you noticed, the fact that the characters were consistent. The issue with, at least right now, Google Veo 3 or just their labs, which is what I'm on screen right now, the characters are not consistent when you tell it to do something. So when you generate one clip, it doesn't have context when generating the second clip if you're generating a scene with the same person. So your prompt is going to be very, very important, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. One thing that you can do with this is I provided a very detailed prompt, and this is the result I got. So quite powerful and honestly a little scary at how realistic this is. and I've been able to generate so many different aesthetically pleasing shots, and it's very consistent because I've used a very specific prompt. Let's take a look at this one, for example. And so honestly, it's really powerful. You've probably seen some of these, Yeti videos where they're talking to the camera.
What's up, internet? Just your average 8-foot snow monster out here risking.
So this stuff is going viral, and I'm going to show you how to do this kind of stuff. And so honestly, the first thing to consider is what platform are you going to use? So there's the Google Labs app that you can use, so labs.google, or you can use the Google Gemini app. So if you're using the I think it's a $24 a month subscription, it's the first subscription, you get the ability to create 8-second videos, which, with any of Google's Veo 3 platforms, whether it's on Google or other platforms, you can only create 8-second videos. And on the Gemini app itself, so gemini.google.com, you can generate about 5 videos per day. You're limited to that. With the Google Labs app, you can generate as much as you want as long as you have credits. So here are my credits right here, and you can choose to add credits, but it can get a little pricey if you continue to do this. So I found that 2,500 credits will get me about 2 to 2.5, depending on how many times you need to do the prompt, but 2 to 2.5 minutes of AI content. So something to keep in mind. I've been using this quite a bit, and I've probably purchased $200 in additional credits.
One time I threw my poop at people and they screamed.
Just because I've been using this so much. If you take a look at my projects here, I've got a lot of different projects going on, and I've been using this quite a lot. And so let me show you just how I was able to get such consistent characters throughout my generations here, because you can see just how consistent these characters are that I'm generating. You can see they look exactly the same. And if you're not doing this right, they're not going to look the same. They can look pretty different, actually. And so here's what I've done. I've created a GPT. So this is AI Video Prompt Creator. And I'll continue to update this as I continue to find more flaws in this, or maybe you guys can leave comments but down below telling me of issues that it's doing, and I can update that. And I'll provide the link to this AI prompt creator in my Discord server. So feel free to join it with the link down in the description. And really, it's important to have the correct prompt. And I've created this GPT so that it does it correctly for you, so that when you put in the prompt, it does exactly what you want. So for example, I would like to create a hyper-realistic scene of a Yeti vlogging his experience, and we want to make it funny so that people can relate to it as if they are seeing it as a story that they could experience as well. Start with the first prompt. Okay, so let's see what it creates. So hyper-realistic shot of a massive Yeti with thick snow-dusted white fur. We're describing him here. So he's got snow-dusted white fur, blue eyes, rounded nose. So it's important that we re-describe every single little thing on each prompt, because when creating characters, at least right now, Google Gemini and also the Labs app, they don't take into consideration the previous shot. So if you want to create a shot of this lady, we have to re-describe her in the next prompt so she looks the same. Otherwise, she doesn't look the same. So that's why we've got this description here, every single prompt that we get. So, so there I was trying to book a hotel, but they wouldn't take Yetis. That's actually kind of funny.
And my last upgrade included a sense of humor, but they forgot to turn up the dry settings, so I squeak now.
So then what I'll say is next, and it's going to create the next text generation prompt for my project here. So if I'll just copy the prompt from ChatGPT, I'll go to Flow. Let's actually start a new project here. And then what I'll do is I'll change the model to highest quality with audio. So this is experimental audio. It's going to use 100 credits as opposed to 10 if you're going to use the fast. So keep that in mind. We're doing text to video. I'm going to paste it and backspace 1. I don't want to add any extra lines that don't need to be added. I'm going to hit enter. One thing to keep in mind while it's processing, one other platform to consider is Fowl.ai. Now this is where the Veo 3 is something that you can use, and I'll leave a link to it in the description. It's using the Veo 3 from Google, which you can see right here. And what you can do is click on the playground, and actually let me just show you what I've done in the past. So I used the same prompt that I did in Google Flow, and this is what it created. Actually, I'll turn the volume on, start from the beginning. Awesome. So there's some more of your satisfying YouTube shorts or something that you want to create, or just videos in general. So let's take a look and see what it created here.
So there I was trying to book a hotel, but they don't take Yetis.
So you can see the model's still slightly unstable. Sometimes it just puts weird things in sometimes. So you could just honestly hit the copy prompt and regenerate it if you really wanted to.
If you're loving this, you have to subscribe to Murray Frost, the king of faceless YouTube education content.
One thing that you want to keep in mind with this GPT is it's meant to create characters consistently. If you want your characters to vlog, you need to specify that. So one thing that I suggest is when the prompt says hyper-realistic shot of massive Yeti, you know, blah, 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 their description, at the end of that, you want to say something like they are holding the camera like a vlog, or they are holding the camera like a shaky, unprofessional selfie vlog style. You know, you want to specify that. So in the very beginning, before you get things started in your main prompt, so if I scroll all the way up to the top here, in your main prompt, you probably want to include that in here as well. So, you know, you've got your prompt here to tell AI what you want, and then at the end of this, you could say, this story needs to be in the style of the character holding the camera like a selfie stick, or with a selfie, holding the camera with a selfie stick as like a vlog style video.
This guy just won't shut up.
So future Murray here, real quick, what I'm actually going to do, instead of making you specify that you want it in a selfie format, because some people may not want a selfie format, they want to make it a cinematic movie feel, and other people might want to make it like an organic selfie kind of style.
Why do I always lose service right when I need Google Maps? Why do I always lose service right when I need Google Maps?
I've created 2 separate GPTs, and I will share in a resource tab in Discord. And so when you join the Discord link in the description, it'll be in the free source channel. So with the fire emoji, it'll be in here and it'll be pinned up here. So it's currently not posted, but it'll show up here in the pinned resource tab so that you can get access to that. Because I'm creating 2 separate GPTs, one AI selfie style and one of just normal cinematic non-selfie style, so that you don't have to specify this. So for example, if I want a Yeti video, you know, a quick prompt here, create a hyper-realistic shot of a towering Yeti, blah, blah, blah. The Yeti's posture, you know, talking about what he's doing and what he's saying. You should not be here. So here, the scene is filmed from a first-person perspective through a smartphone handheld by the Yeti itself. The audience sees the Yeti's massive fur-covered hand holding the phone awkwardly at arm's length. The framing slightly off-center and shaking subtly with each movement. The camera slowly tilts down, blah, 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 and so on. So right now we're specifying this. We're also creating these in, should be 16:9 ratio, that'll be fixed. No cinematic bars because that reduces the amount of space. Captions must not be generated. Now, if you are trying to do this for shorts, what I recommend adding here is make sure these specify that these need to be filmed with an ultra wide lens so that I can crop these later. Something like that, right? So now you can specify how why this is, so that you have the space to crop for short format. Since this is not, short form content, at least, Google Geo 3 doesn't really, output in 16:9, or excuse me, 9:16. So short form content, it only does long form. So, that'll probably change in the future, and I'll probably have a new GPT in the resources tab in Discord to kind of reflect that. So keep an eye on that. Okay, back to where I left off.
So there I was trying to book a hotel, but they don't take Yetis.
But the goal here is to create these characters with consistency. So you can see this character looks like this character. They look the same.
They said, this isn't valid ID. And I said, it's limited edition.
Classic. Always negotiating with pine cones.
So it looks pretty cool and quite realistic. And so, this is what I've been using to generate some AI videos, and hopefully this is helpful, provided you some info and feedback, and, just what it looks like behind the paywall, or at least after, what it looks like after the trial, because, it can get quite pricey sometimes when generating AI with videos. So if you want access to the custom GPT that I created here, it's slowly being updated as things happen. Let me know if there's any issues with it with the comments down below, but you can access this in my Discord server with other YouTube faceless creators. So feel free to join that with the link in the description. I don't post the join link anywhere else. It's a pretty exclusive server, but I thought I would give you access to it right now, and you can, connect with other creators too.
If you want to learn how to do a more detailed selfie-style vlog prompt, click the video on screen, and Murray will be posting that video soon. See you there.